PPF, because it's so well thought of in the community and has been for so many years, it really is thought to be a place where anybody can go.
We have upwards of 25 to 30 kids coming weekly to our youth groups.
Me, as well as everyone else that goes there, gets a chance to share the difficulties throughout the week in a nice, safe environment.
I mean, it was pretty amazing. He was so happy. He said, "I've never been in a room full of kids just like me."
Another key component of our youth program is getting into the schools and educating teachers, principals, school administrators on how to address bullying and harassment of young gay and lesbian and transgendered kids.
There was some freshmen that were sitting in a detention class that I was walking by, and I think they shouted out "dyke" or something like that. And I don't know why that just affected me so bad. They were, 3 years younger than I was, and it felt like that whole formula for hatred was just recycling and starting all over again, and I just couldn't wait to get out of there.
You know, a healthy community is an inclusive one, and one that does not tolerate any types of violence, hate crimes, or intolerance based on who you are.
The stories that we hear at Pacific Pride Foundation, the calls that come into Pacific Pride, include someone who's afraid to come out or who has been outed in senior facilities locally and who no one wants to sit with them anymore in the dining room and have dinner.
Getting old and being frail and or being poor and not having a good support system, not having a good place to live, being in a threatening situation. When we get old and have a partner who dies, are we married? Do we have legal rights to their pension? Can we even call the mortuary to have their body picked up to be buried?
I think the majority of our community might need some education to have the tolerance and to have the heart.
What we've done at Pacific Pride Foundation is establish a very good working relationship with our local city law enforcement, the Santa Barbara Police Department. And we successfully were able to go and partner with the police department in doing trainings with all sworn officers.
That connection between the city and Pacific Pride Foundation, when there are questions, when there are concerns, or when we need some talking points or trainings, that's a really great training advocacy tool to have.
For almost 30 years, our HIV testing, education, and prevention programs, as well as support for those already infected with HIV, has been the cornerstone of Pacific Pride Foundation. Help can be something as basic as getting food in our food pantries, both in Santa Maria and Santa Barbara. Help and assistance can be getting to the county clinic and seeing a doctor and getting on the HIV/AIDS medications. Help can be as basic as housing. Some of our clients come to us living in garages.
It removes a lot of the stigma away from HIV and AIDS. I know personally I've got a lot of friends in very diverse communities who have just gotten a lot of information about it, so that it becomes something that raises awareness and education for everybody, not just the LGBTQ community, but anybody who's going there.
We need you to speak powerfully on behalf of the gay and lesbian transgendered communities on matters of bullying or violence or youth. Pacific Pride stands, that's what we stand for.
PPF has been a really galvanizing force. There is a gay community in Santa Barbara, an LGBTQ community. It may not be as visible as in other larger cities, but it's definitely here.
I think that if we would just stop assuming that every kid, since the day they're born, is going to be straight, that if we could just wonder, at least a tiny bit, that they could be different, I think that would make the whole world a much better place.